This week on EV Rider, we're meeting up with one of the very first LiveWire S2 Del Mar owners in the world. Diego Cardenas recently took delivery of a super rare S2 Del Mar Launch Edition. Diego's Del Mar is number 7 off Harley-Davidson's York, Pennsylvania assembly line. Those first 100 S2 Del Mars are just now making their way into the hands of customers. We had to juggle our schedules a bit, but I was able to pull over during a trip so he could share his early experiences.
What's your first impressions?
Riding an electric Harley-Davidson LiveWire through traffic, it's like a knife slicing through butter. Riding an S2 Del Mar through the same traffic is like a hot knife riding through traffic. Dude, you got roughly 110 more foot-pounds of torque on a frame that is a lot smaller, a lot slimmer, and 100 pounds less. So the power on this thing is insane for the weight ratio it has. It's the best handling electric motorcycle by far at this moment. And I've been on prototype bikes before, and this thing was
well, since you're making a pretty bold statement there, give me a quick rundown of some of the electric motorcycles outside of Harley-Davidson's LiveWire brand that you've ridden.
Well, you got to keep in mind, this is what they call middleweight bike. So it's not competing out there against the large-scale LiveWires or the Energicas or the DSRs, the top-of-the-line zeros. This is more in the small range. So what are we competing technically against in the middleweight ground? So middleweight, if we look at it, are there any 10.5 kilowatt battery pack batteries? Motorcycles out there right now? As far as I know, no. They're either lower or higher. You got the 14s, 13s.
Yeah, they are. I would say right now in price, once you count in dealer discounts, the closest that I can think of that would be a bigger battery would be the Zero SR. Before it's unlocked, before you pay the option.
But it's a bigger battery. So, you got to start looking at it. What do you define as a middleweight bike versus a lightweight bike versus, a high-end bike? So, middleweight size, the only thing I'm thinking about right now.
Now when you say middleweight, what's the weight on the Del Mar?
It's 469 pounds.
Okay, well that's pretty equivalent. I'd have to look it up. I know that my 2020 SRF is 498, so they're within spitting distance weight-wise.
So you're looking at that. So I'm really sitting down and comparing this. Not dollars for dollars, because at the end of the day, when you look at an EV, you're paying a premium. The Del Mar out the door, the launch edition, which they only opened the window really short, and it sold out in 18 minutes. Out the door was close to $17,000, and the new one that's coming out that you can reserve right now for $100 is $15,000.
Well, let's get back to the riding experience.
It's inspired and designed based on Harley-Davidson's and / LiveWire's race heritage on the flat track. So it's really tuned for flat tracking. There's even a mode on this thing called track mode. It's not for you to go fast, either 0 to 60. It's for you to have this control over the bike where the back wheels don't have ABS as effective as as they normally do. And you can spin that wheel and turn that bike sideways and literally just drift the bike across the dirt track. It's just built for that. I'm waiting until, accessories are out for it, like additional plastics, and I'm just going to take the dressing off of her and put new dressing on it and take her to the track.
Now, you said waiting for accessories. Harley-Davidson LiveWire owners have waited a very long time for what I would call significant accessories. Do you have any inside word that it's going to be much quicker for the S2 Del Mar?
I asked that question, because, obviously they said, so what do you think? I go, well, as long as you guys build separate, if not, guys like me, I'm going to start building it for you and we're going to start capitalizing on it. But they said, they have a staff engineering now that is just as, their whole job is to design accessories for it. So shortly we'll start seeing some accessories and parts for this bike to make it rideable. And there's already, you see inside the design of the platform, if you look at it, there's grommets and there's plastic caps that you can take off, and there's threads now for accessories that they're going to be bolting on down the line. What they are, I don't know, but I would assume some saddlebags. I want some saddlebags. I want some seat cup. I want stuff that makes me enjoy the bike.
Diego, just throw something out for viewers in general until those officially released accessories come out. I do have a brand new saddlebag review. I got a set of Viking bags that are made for sport bikes and street bikes. So I'll go ahead and put a link to that for anybody that might be interested, whether it's for their Del Mar or, any of the electric motorcycles that don't have OEM luggage built in. Hey, one thing I know, probably above all else, that people are going to want to know are two things. And of course, that's range and charging speed.
My experience is as follows. The bike, according to engineering spec, can do up to 7.2 kilowatt. Supposed to. In reality, people tell me they've seen, the only other person who told me you've seen something, and this is one of their internal engineers, is 6, but that's what he claims that he's seen. Me, yesterday, charging all day long, and then the last 3 days that I've had the bike, the highest I've gone is 4.9.
Okay.
But it's capable of doing 7.2. Whether they're limiting right now because of software, that we don't know. We just can guess at that. But if they can unlock 6-7 kilowatts, that thing, it'll charge like a bat out of hell.
And that would make sense. To me, one of the things that's exciting about the Del Mar is, if I understand it correctly, it's the first LiveWire that has over-the-air updates. And of course, we saw with the Zero, they did increase the charging speed. They started conservatively. You used to max out at 5.8, and they upped that after a couple of years to 6.6, which I'm assuming is because they got enough field information to feel as though those chargers were going to hold up reliably. And I don't know, but I'm going to guess LiveWire is doing the same thing now based on what you're hearing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, and they told me as they were delivering to me, is not all the software functionality has been released on this. We will be releasing more features and updates to the app, to the bike, as time goes by.
How are you finding the real world range as compared to LiveWire's advertised range?
I left with 99% battery, and it was saying that I had 113 mile range estimated on the bike based on my throttle response that I had written the previous day. I got 70 miles into it, and I still got to LA with 13 miles left, 15% of my battery, which to me blew my mind, because that's 70 miles, give and take, mixed riding. That's why I say mixed riding, because the freeway wasn't truly 65. I had to stop for traffic. So if we kind of extrapolate that, and based on what I felt, if I can get 55 to 65 at 65, 70 miles per hour, I'm happy. So that's what we're looking at, 65 to 70. Let's say on a good day, 75. But I don't think it's going to be past that. I think it's more like between 65 and 70 on a body like mine.
So would you say, based on your very preliminary experience, it's on the money, over-delivering or under-delivering in terms of range, or just too soon to say?
I think they're on the money right now, from what I've conversed with other people who work for the company in different areas.
Another thing that I think existing LiveWire 1 owners are going to be really interested in are what I would call the main differences. We talked a little bit about the handling, but one of the things that struck me in one of the photos you posted was the onboard navigation looked beautiful. It looked like the entire display.
To me, it was a game changer.
It did more than just give you arrows like a Zero does. It gave you just a gorgeous map. Talk to me a little bit about the gauge cluster and the app experience and how it differs between the LiveWire 1 and the Del Mar.
That cluster is reminiscent. It's basically the same cluster that the Sportster S has. It's really bright. It pops at you whether you're in the middle of the sun and the sun's hitting it, or whether it's dark at night. It has auto dimming features, so it brightens and lowers as it's needed. That was one of the biggest issues that I have, cross-country rides on my LiveWire. I normally use my phone. I don't have a separate GPS unit. I normally use my phone as my GPS, plug it in, and there's times that I'm seeing myself doing this, trying to see what's going on in here, because this still, even though it's good, it's not bright.
And I'm not a LiveWire owner, so do I understand you correctly then that the one does not have any kind of navigation?
Well, it does have navigation. Okay. It integrates the turn by turn like on the Zero once you pair the device. But to look at the map, at times I found myself doing this. This weekend when I was using the Del Mar, the circular display is so bright, there was no need for me to do any of that.
You also just got a a Mach-E, a Ford Mustang Mach-E, and of course we know how sophisticated that navigation is. You put in your endpoint, and it also auto-populates chargers along the way, suggested stops to recharge along the way. Does the LiveWire Del Mar do that as well?
Not at the moment. It's based off the HD Connect app because, I recognize the voice. I recognize a lot of the stuff, the nuances on it. It has full control of your entertainment system. So once you have your phone connected to it, it gives you real-time TPMS of your wheels. So for those who don't know what TPMS, it's real-time tire pressure monitoring. It even lets you keep a copy of your ID, your insurance paperwork, and your registration inside the app.
Even though Harley isn't, quote, branding this as a Harley, tell us about some of the Harley Easter eggs that you've seen on the bike so far.
So, there's slight spots where you see Harley Davidson's logos on it, just to kind of remind you that it is a Harley.
If somebody made you choose and you could only have a LiveWire 1 or a S2 Del Mar, which would you pick?
I'd probably still stick to my LiveWire 1 because of the way I ride. You got to define an EV based on your riding habits. Me, I'm a hypermile guy. A Del Mar is not going to get me hypermiles. A Del Mar will make me commute around the city, which is what it's designed for, and nothing else. I can get to LA 80 miles away, not have to worry about it. If I want to go to Vegas, if I want to go to San Francisco, if I want to do a cannonball run, or if I want to go from Mexico to Canada, my LiveWire 1.
Anything that you wish that it did differently that you can point to, or are you just over the moon in every regard?
Well, right now I'm in a honeymoon stage, so it could do no wrong for me.
What didn't I ask you today that you want to get out there?
Well, I say most people are looking at the Del Mar to be a LiveWire killer or a long-range motorcycle. No, please don't do that. This is not meant for that. And it's designed for inner-city commuting. Other than that, if you're doing anything pushing it then you got the wrong vehicle. Get yourself a bike that has at least 14 kilowatts on up if you want to start really going far. I hope that they're successful because at the end of the day, the more electric motorcycles we have in the market, the more successful we are towards this green movement, towards, eco-friendliness, sustainability. And at the end of the day, it's not if my vehicle is cleaner than yours or my technology is better than your ICE technology. At the end of the day, it's choices. I like being able to say, I don't have to have an explosion to be able to move around. I want to be able to have a neutron spinning around, moving me around. So that's what I'm kind of fighting for is the word choice, not the word better.
So there you have it, a first look at one of the very first LiveWire S2 Del Mars on the road. If you've enjoyed this episode of EV Rider, please give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can bring you more adventures in EV motoring. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.